The time of doom has come closer. While the heroes were busy fighting the Dark General, the armies of monsters seized the opportunity and ravaged unprotected towns. When war turmoil subsided and not a stone was left upon another in the conquered towns, numerous hordes began to look for new prey, led by terrifying Chaos Riders. KARAK 2 Chaos is the second expansion for KARAK 2 and the largest expansion ever released for any of the KARAK games. Inside the box you will find 5 modules: new buildings, merchant, warbands, Chaos Riders and of course new heroes. And let's start with them. These are further returnees from KARAK 1. Acrobat Hana from the Regent expansion and Alchemist Siddhar from the mini expansion, partly bearing his name. While Hana specialized in fast movement across the board thanks to flying on a giant eagle, and just like in KARAK 1 she can use weapons even in spell slots, Siddhar can spend resources to gain combat strength and, maybe more interestingly, his city flies. It moves around the board and Siddhar can move along with it. The new buildings module introduces 10 new types of building. At the start of the game, each player chooses up to 2 to replace some of their basic buildings, and among the new buildings you will find some that allow you to trade or gain resources, improve your city's defenses, or even grant your hero the ability of another hero in the game. In addition, the expansion includes 5 new training buildings, enabling the recruitment of 1 of 5 new elite units, very powerful in battle, with unique special abilities, but limited to 2 dice. The merchant module allows players to visit a new merchant tile and buy items for resources. This is especially useful for players who fall behind at the start of a game, for example when no sufficiently weak monsters are left for them, but the items will certainly prove handy even in later stages of the game. The Warbands module brings a trio of super strong monster armies that do not just wait idly until the heroes come to chase them away. On the contrary, they roam the map, and when they besiege a city they start destroying its buildings one by one. Fighting them brings many rewards, so it's worth facing them. The Chaos Riders represent an alternative endgame instead of defeating the Dark General. Players must defeat all 3 Chaos Riders, each stronger than the previous one. In this way, many soul stones are distributed, so all players retain a chance of victory for longer. The KARAK 2 Chaos expansion releases at Spiel Essen and you can already pre-order it. As a bonus, you'll get the promo hero Don Pedro for free. Good evening and thank you for tuning into ALBI Update. My name is David and today I will introduce you to the new games and expansions that will premiere in Essen in October, such as much anticipated second expansion to KARAK 2 shown at the beginning of the show. TROUBLEZ Run – Revenge of the Jellinator is an accessible game for 2 to 4 players aged 5 and up, with a playtime around 20 minutes. The story is simple. A moment of carelessness while cooking was enough, and instead of tasty jelly, the TROUBLEZ created a terrifying monster in the form of Jellinator, who now devours everything in his path. Most importantly, you need to save the zombie animals, because who knows how long would they otherwise have to wait in the jelly for your rescue. Your goal is to reach the rescue airship and save as many different animals as possible along the way. At its core, Troubles Run is a push your luck game. At the start of a turn, dice are rolled and the players drop them one by one. The die determines the tile, or rather the animal, to which their trouble pawn moves, always to the nearest one, but in any direction. The animal is rescued, but at the same time the Gelinator movement is enhanced. This way, the players can also reveal a brain, which in the world of Troubles is a special type of animal. You can never have enough brains. Once all Troubles have moved, it's Gelinator's turn. His movement is determined by a die roll and by how many animals remain in his path. Any trouble he devours must be saved with life buoys, which have negative value at the end of a game. But bravery pays off. The trouble who remains closest to the Gelinator without being eaten gets a reward. And then it's up to you. Will you rush or risk being caught for the sake of a reward for courage? Troubles Run, Revenge of a Gelinator, designed by Giorgio Galbusera and illustrated by Petr will be waiting for you in Essen. Also coming to Essen is the eagerly awaited expansion for Tea Garden by Tomáš Holek, called PUERH. Since April, you had the option to try one of the key parts of the expansion at home, the solo mode, which we released as a free download. In the solo mode, you face off against Tea Master Lu Yu, whose moves are driven by cards, making him an opponent almost on par with live players. You can adjust the difficulty across 4 levels, and especially at 3rd and 4th level, you'll have to work hard to beat Lu Yu in scoring. The second part of the expansion is the Noble Court, which introduces 2 new main actions and a whole range of components led by Noble Court board. On the board you will find Imperial Decrees, which players race to fulfill as they are path to rewards and new pawns of nobles. These nobles are then used in the halls of a court, where they gain you further resources and options, which is why it's useful to have more than the 2 you start with. A frequent new reward is Third of PUERH cake, which you can also purchase in premium version at the Pure Market. You combine the thirds and earn rewards not only from the new piece, but also from all the previous ones. At the end of the game, PUERH cakes can also bring you a lot of points, if you manage to assemble them correctly. Because 2 new actions were added to the game, players also get a chance to extend their board and perform up to 5 main actions each round. Of course, this is not for free. As you can see, the PUERH expansion adds a wide range of new gameplay options, but it also increases complexity and playtime. So apart from solo players, we mainly recommend it to those who already know the original Tea Garden by heart. Before we get to tonight's highlight, the new game by Vlaada Chvátil, SEVERTON, I would like to bring forward two games that will also be available at Spiel Essen. Tile-laying Zen puzzle game Garden Lake designed by Uwe Rosenberg, and Dirt and Dust strategy rally games combining dice placement and deck building designed by Petr. We took an enhanced look at these two titles in ALBI update in August, so if you want to know more about them, which I would recommend, check out that video. After today's ALBI update ends, of course. Giorgio Galbusera is a boy from the other side. He read with bated breath in the Rabbit Arrows magazine about their adventures in SEVERTON and admired their courage. That's why one day he decided to venture into SEVERTON himself, to experience what it's like to sneak throughout its mysterious alleys, avoid the wands and uncover ancient secrets. Giorgio, trembling with excitement, crossed the partition street and entered SEVERTON. He has not returned ever since. Soon a troubling rumor spread across the other side. The wands had discovered him, captured him, and were holding him in an unknown location. The Rabbit Arrows cannot just let this go. They quickly organize an expedition into SEVERTON with a clear goal: find and rescue Giorgio. Little do they know where this journey will take them. SEVERTON is a game we've been dreaming of ever since we acquired license for the Rabbit Arrows a few years ago. The Rabbit Arrows is a series of novels and comic books popular in Czechia, written in the 30s and 40s by Jaroslav Foglar, that describes a club of young boys that became role models for one generation: brave, honest and skillful. We dreamed of fun, exciting adventure for the whole family that literally pulls you into a world where mystery and adventure could lurk around every corner, even just across the street. This year, our dream finally comes true. And to make it even better, the board game we longed for brings to life the vision of the most renowned Czech board game author, Vlaada Chvátil, creator of hits such as Galaxy Tracker, Mage Knight, Through the Ages, and of course, Codenames. SEVERTON is a cooperative family game for 1 to 5 players, named after the mysterious neighborhood ruled by groups of ruffians called wands. It's a scenario-based game with 5 scenarios in a box. Their rules and components are unlocked gradually, but you can also return to them anytime, since they offer a high degree of replayability and variability. Or rather, should I say, you will return to them? Because like any proper cooperative game, SEVERTON brings a big challenge. Each scenario can be played at several difficulty levels, with the highest one requiring a perfectly coordinated team and a bit of luck. Successfully completing tasks requires especially careful movement across the board. I say careful because groups of ones constantly patrol SEVERTON, and while you can confront them, it's often better to simply avoid them. To do that, you must also manage to uncover their strength and their intentions. You'll perform all important actions in the game through cards. Their color determines what type of paths you can use for movement, while symbols and values define how useful the card will be when dealing with wands. When you do encounter a wand patrol, you have 3 ways to get out of trouble. You can fight them directly, and all heroes in the location can join the brawl. Or one hero can use their eloquence and simply talk them down. Or you can try to hide, but in that case, it's every man for himself. Individual groups of wands are of different strength, and some methods may not work on them at all. That's why exploration is crucial. Using purple cards, you can discover both the nature and intentions of a given group of wands. During their phase of the round, all wands move accordingly to their movement cards. Sometimes their path is fixed, but sometimes a large enough group of rapid arrows attracts the attention of nearby patrols. Therefore, you must carefully consider your strategy. A larger group can more easily defeat wands by force and has more options to spend cards on movement, but smaller groups or individuals can sneak past wands unnoticed and also accomplished more in the smaller amount of time. Fortunately, even if you get caught by wands, after a good beating they'll just throw you out of the edge of a SEVERTON and soon you can help your friends again. But it's the same with the wands. In the world of rapid arrows, except for tragic exceptions, it's not fight to the death, so you can never get rid of the wands permanently. But all this still concerns only the first scenario, which serves as a light introduction to the rules, though even here you can choose higher difficulties that will truly test you. And after that, I don't want to spoil too much. After all, discovery is inseparable from adventure. I'll just say that you can look forward to even stronger group of wands, improved abilities for the rapid arrows, items, more complex tasks, and unique challenges for each scenario. There's plenty to discover in SEVERTON. If you succeed, don't hesitate to inscribe your names in the Rapid Arrows Chronicle. SEVERTON is a love letter to the world Jaroslav Foglar created in 1930s, and yet, or perhaps precisely because of that, it also brings some firsts. Besides being undeniably the largest game ever based on Foglar's novels and comics, it's also the first time rapid arrows have been brought to life by a non-Czechoslovak illustrator, Miguel Coimbra, one of the most acclaimed board game illustrators whose style casts new light on familiar settings. Moreover, in SEVERTON, the rapid arrows don't have to be just boys. If you want to play as girls, you can. And that's something fresh and new for this setting as well. SEVERTON releases on October 23rd, and it can be pre-ordered from this very moment. If you do, you will also receive a stylish promo for free. The mysterious quarter beyond the partition street is already waiting for you. We'll finish with SEVERTON for today, but if you would like more information, be sure to visit albi.eu, our Facebook page ALBI Games and Puzzles, or check out other videos here on our channel. If you're active on Board Game Geek, we would be thrilled if you would give our games a heart or a subscribe, and even better if you gave them a thumbs up in the Spiel Essen preview. Even if you're not on Board Game Geek, we'll be grateful for your comments, perhaps right here under the video. Also, if you want to learn even more about the thoughts behind designing SEVERTON, you might want to check out our developer diaries. The first one is already available somewhere around here. I hope you liked what you've seen, and that I will see you at ALBI booth at Essen Spiel. Have a wonderful evening.